Alright, welcome back everybody to another Age of Empires cast. This one's going to be between Kasva and MBL. It was a ladder match, took place a couple days ago, and I thought it was a interesting one based on the unit compositions and I guess the overall outcome. But yeah, without further ado, we'll just get right into it here. It took place on Arabia, of course, and it's Kasva in the red with the Malay against MBL in the blue with the Dravidians. Malay advanced to the next age 66% faster. Their battle elephants are cheaper in the Castle Age and even cheaper in the Imperial Age. However, they lack pretty much all defensive option upgrades except for the Feudal armor or Feudal Age armor upgrade. So while they are cheap, they're not really the best. But they can get the job done sometimes. Infantry armor upgrades are free, and they do get the full suite of armor there in the blacksmith. Unique unit is the Karambit Warrior, which is basically like a Zergling from StarCraft, if you're more familiar with StarCraft, in that it takes half of a population space. They don't spawn in pairs like Zerglings, but they're very cheap. They build very fast, and they only take half of a pop space, so if you have 20 of them, it only counts for 10 headroom there. Infantry, once again, low stats, but they can swarm and they can be very effective for sending into your opponent's economy, as deer are pushed in here for Kasva, and surely MBL's probably doing the same. Actually, where is MBL's scout? Yeah, I think he's looking for his deer. Malay also get longer lasting fish traps. That won't matter on Arabia. They can get thalassocracy, upgrades docks to harbors, which fire arrows. Once again, not going to matter here, but they can also get the forced levy tech, where they get two-handed swordsmen for no gold, or militia line for no gold, but they don't get champions. So you're looking at two-handed swordsmen. They cost more food to compensate, but still, in a long game, spamming two-handed swordsmen, not too bad. As a board, it's going to get pulled in here for Kasva. Dravidians for MBL are another kind of infantry and naval civilization. So that's what's interesting about these two. Malay have quick up times, but when Dravidians advance to the next age, they get 200 wood for free. Their fishermen and fishing ships carry additional food. Once again, not going to matter here too much. Barracks technologies are minus 50%. So you can get all those upgrades in the barracks for half off. Siege weapons cost minus 33% wood, so that's very relevant if the Malay do go into maybe some archers or something like that. And you're going mangonels, or you're just using mangonels to push your opponent. They're 1/3 cheaper from a wood perspective. Skirmishers and elephant archers attack 25% faster, making them, making skirms actually pretty deadly against things they're usually not as deadly against, like villagers, since they're attacking quite a bit faster there. Armie's swordsman unique unit, one we don't see super often, an infantry that has a charged up attack that does splash damage, but otherwise is not particularly strong outside of that, so it has to wait for the bar to recharge. So they'll have like a little bar, like the faith bar for monks, underneath their name, if you happen to see them. Medical Corps, elephant units regenerate 30 HP per minute, so that's pretty relevant since elephants have so much life anyway. They usually come out of engagements alive unless they're just getting overwhelmed or they're just taking horrible engagements. In this case, they'll heal up without a monk or without garrisoning. Woot Steel, this is a big one as well, the Imperial Age unique tech. Infantry and cavalry attacks ignore armor. That doesn't apply to buildings. To my knowledge, that sounds insanely broken, but still, against Malay, it's not too crazy, except for against other infantry, because, they're, like, if they're going elephants, they don't have armor anyways, really. And if they're going archers, once again, don't have significant amounts of armor. So against Malay of all civs, Woot Steel isn't too crazy, but if you're against, like, Teutons, for example, and they send Teutonic Knights at you, or they're very heavily melee-armored cavalier, you just ignore it with your infantry, which is really nice. And then docks provide 5+ pop room. Once again, that's not going to matter here. But yeah, both of them heading to the Feudal Age. 19 pop up. 8 seconds and 2 seconds LTC time, so nothing too crazy there. The maps. Kasva's map. Very safe gold here. Easy little wall up on the right-hand side. Already walled up the front. And could even do a pretty nice wall to the edge of the map. But does he actually know that? He doesn't, so it might end up being a circle. or like the line. It's hard to say, but he might just commit to a line across. That would make probably more sense. If you're going to have to wall this side anyways, it would probably just make more sense to go across. And then you have this secured as well. But overall, not a terrible map. There is this nasty hill here. If MBL ends up setting up archers on it, which Dravidians can certainly do, or skirms, and mangonels into castellates. But that's why I see Kasva's walled in front of this hill. So MBL would have to crack through the walls first before he could take control of it. And Kasva can defend from the hill if necessary. 3 militia drush going to come in for Kasva. As MBL's base, extra golds are forward and in a similar location. Extra stone is off in no man's land. Main stone is fairly exposed. You can wall this pretty easily, though. And then main gold quite safe. And I'd say MBL's base is definitely easier to wall, but maybe a little bit more at risk for a long-term game. If he loses control of like these hills here, he basically loses control of this gold. So the front of his base is pretty vulnerable. And yeah, he's actually going to go for the smaller walls because committing to huge walls in feudal is just so much idle time. And it's all about idle time these days. Ooh, the Jaguar helping out MBL here. Getting a little bit of free damage in on the militia. 9 HP lost. Does actually matter if the villagers start to fight back. And this villager's going to be found out here, and they're men-at-arms now. And I don't think he's long for this world. Yeah, he's going to go down. It's just unfortunate timing. MBL wanted to get a wall off. Right idea, wrong time. So Kasva's actually 2 vills ahead right now. That's because Malay have faster uptime. So he killed a vill, and he's got the faster uptime going to feudal age. So he ends up with more villagers that way. Less idle TC time. Or not idle, but less running TC time on non-villager activities. Let's put it that way. Loom coming in for MBL, so Kasva will be even further ahead vill-wise. Because Kasva, I believe, already has Loom. Yes. Okay, so Men-at-Arms going to continue to be pesky here. And let's see what MBL's response will be. He has 2 scouts, but scouts don't do all that well against Men-at-Arms. 6 attack versus 5. Men-at-Arms have the same amount of HP and actually have 1 melee armor. Scouts don't have any melee armor. So overall, they're just better suited to deal with this, but he'll probably start either pressuring his... It looks like he wants to just take out the mill. That's fine, honestly. The Men-at-Arms will deal with the mill pretty quick, and that will force MBL to rebuild a mill if he wants to take the berries, or rebuild a mill if he wants to get Horse Collar and all the farm techs. Because you can kind of assume... Actually, he already has Horse Collar, but you could potentially assume your opponent might not have Horse Collar yet when you're attacking this. But regardless, if they want to take the free food and the berries, I mean, there's almost 700 food there still. You're going to force them to invest another 100 wood, which early in the game matters. You know, late game, wood tends to kind of pile up, but early in the game, wood is usually kind of a premium if your build order isn't completely scuffed anyways. You shouldn't have too much wood floating. Archer range is going to go up here. Now, for Dravidians, that doesn't feel too bad to have to make, but it is still going to be a pretty big feudal commitment. And at home for Kasva, he's still just on a range and a barracks. And he's got some archers of his own and some spears forward now. So he's got like a full feudal comp here. I mean, only 1 scout, the starting scout, but still. And yeah, MBL has to delete these walls because the pincer move here. But the spear is stuck outside, right? So these scouts can still get some damage done. And the men-at-arms are focusing the vills. Does get a villager kill here, though. So probably worth, yeah. This is pretty huge value for men-at-arms. They usually... I mean, it just depends, but I feel like a lot of times they don't generally kill vills. They're there to kind of disrupt, maybe kill a building like a mill, and basically just idle the economy and make them rebuild buildings and stuff. But I feel like they rarely actually kill villagers. In this case, we've killed 2. But now these men-at-arms are pretty... They've been left for dead. The other battle group is regrouped, the scout died, and the men-at-arms are in trouble here. Good micro from MBL. Oh, not quite. But it was good micro up until that point. Still, MBL probably pretty happy to clean that up, but 4 villager lead for Kasva. He does get housed, though. He's going to have to build some more houses. And he actually doesn't have any foundations down that I see, so he's going to be housed for a little while, it feels like. But he's still producing a villager here. But now he's idling his town center. Really housed. Okay, putting up a house. So when we say housed, we mean like you're pop capped. But you still have room to grow. You can go up to 200 pop cap. I know most of the viewers are going to know this, but some people tuning in might not actually be aware. So the max pop in a normal conquest game is going to be 200. But you have to build houses to get there. 5 pop space at a time. Castles give 20. Town centers give 5. And then certain civilizations have little bonuses to that. You know, Incas, their houses are worth 10 instead of 5, etc., etc., but generically speaking. So anyways, he got stuck at 40 for a while there, so it's actually really a lot of breathing room to MBL. That's about a full villager of idle time ahead, which at this high level is noteworthy. I wouldn't say either of their idle times are disgusting at this point, but it is noteworthy to be, like, a Vil behind in idle time at this level of play. This is very high-level players. MBL is one of the best players in the world. You know, like top-rated pro for sure. And Kasva is a very high-level player in their own right, who also, I believe, sneaks into some S-tier tourneys as well, if I'm not mistaken. And I'm sure some A-tier and all that. And, yeah, we got skirms here, and that counters the entire army from Kasva. Spears and archers both do pretty bad against skirms. I mean, right now these spears are doing alright because they're in the minimum range, and these skirms kind of split up for some reason. But yeah, now the spears are going to die running, or mostly die running. Kasva's going to have to... I mean, you don't have to respond to skirms, technically. They don't. It takes them a while to kill Vils, regular skirms. So these are Dravidian skirms, so they attack faster. They will get the job done quicker, but they only do 1 damage an arrow. Or a javelin, rather. So it's still not horrendous. This group, for example, would take about 8 shots, I think? 7 shots? Assuming they all hit. They're also kind of inaccurate, so... To kill a Vil. So it's not like the most scary thing, but now there's even some scouts here. But Castle's going to opt to go to Castle Age, not really adding military except for some archers. He's saying, I'm going to go to Castle. The skirmishers are going to dive, and skirmishers can definitely do this. He doesn't have the archer armor. Or no, I'm sorry. He does have the archer armor. I'm looking at the wrong stats. I was going to say, usually you don't dive without archer armor. Yeah. So those guys were taking 1 damage, or 2 damage, I think, an arrow. Yeah. And now the gold's pressured. MBL probably saw Kasva's score dip as well and knows that he clicked up. So he just dives with this feudal age army that calls a ruckus. He probably won't even kill a Vil, because skirms really aren't good at killing Vils before they're elite with Bodkin, but what he will do, first of all, what he could potentially do here is actually kill some crossbow, or future crossbow. Kasva wants these to be crossbow, let's put it that way. Yeah, these skirms are getting some damage in on the archers now. But yeah, there weren't enough scouts to get big damage on, but look at all the idle eco time here. Kasva has no gold. This is not where you want to be. Like, just getting Bodkin and no crossbow? That feels terrible for you. As Kasva here. You want to have crossbow in. So then these guys have 7 range, 7 attack, you know, more health. 5 more HP, that is. Yeah. But he's stuck. He can't afford it. So he's just kind of idling his military. And now he's taking a little fight here against these feudal age skirmishers for some reason. And this is really good for MBL. Kasva just lost... Well, it's not over yet either. What am I saying? Yeah, Kasva has lost, what, 4 archers there? 5 archers, I think? He basically just lost his entire ball of archers. That should be crossbow. And MBL just lost a couple more skirms. That was super good for MBL. He's probably loving life. This is a recorded game, not live, so, I mean, he was probably loving life. Siege Workshop, going to go up for Kasva. Wants to be very aggressive here, but it's also going to drop a second town center. So he's going to do a 2 TC... or town center boom with siege though, because you know MBL is heavily on skirmishers and that's a Dravidian, kind of a Dravidian staple to be honest. So getting mangonels out is a good play, or maybe scorpions, either one to deal with the. It's probably gonna be mangonel. I think pros and just generally very high level players. I think a lot of players will opt for the mangonel, but some like the scorpions. I love scorpions. But mangonels are probably just better if you can actually. Aim with them. You can beat V-splits, mangonels are going to be better, right? Oh my goodness, MBL had resources for days. That 200 additional wood coming in really hot here. Elite skirm coming in, bowsaw coming in, heavy plow coming in, gold mining coming in, and bodkin coming in. So he is going to commit to skirms. And basically that 200 free wood just dumped into elite skirm. It's 230 wood and I think like 100 gold, something like that. So it's usually kind of like, oof, do I have to like do I drop, like, do I not get to drop a TC? Like, it's kind of an expensive upgrade in a weird way. It doesn't cost a lot of gold. It doesn't even cost food, to my memory anyway. But it's a lot of wood at once when you're at a pivotal point going to Castle Age, when you want to put down some Castle Age buildings, right? Siege workshops, town centers, whatever, or more of your feudal age military buildings. But in this case, that 200 free wood basically just bought him Elite Skirmisher. So it really didn't cost him much. Now, that was a good attack round there. The main battle group, though, is going to go check out the gold, where there is a TC to vaguely protect, but These guys can sit outside the town center range and just make sure the gold is idle if MBL wants. And Kasva still doesn't have crossbow, and he might not. I don't know why he's. I don't know what the plan is here. It feels like we're just committing to a really losing fight here. We're up against Bodkin Skirms, Elite Skirm, Dravidian Bodkin Elite Skirmishers with archers with Bodkin. It's really strange. Even getting crossbow isn't that exciting. Like, you're doing 2 damage an arrow right now, and if he gets the archer armor, you're doing 1 damage an arrow. So, yeah, I don't know. But yeah, right now he's doing 1 damage an arrow, so really he's relying on his mangonels. I'm not quite sure why he's even building archers, but maybe he just doesn't know what else to go. Going skirm against Dravidian feels kind of bad because you're just going against better skirms. Ooh, good attack ground, but good dodge from MBL. MBL being hyper aggressive here, building a forward siege workshop and a forward monastery. Maybe thinking about getting redemption, assuming they get redemption. I kind of forget if they do. I don't know Dravidian's tech tree ultra well. I could check real quick, actually, and I will do that. Because I don't quite remember. They do not get redemption, so... Actually, I'm kind of surprised we're going for monks then. I wonder what the monks are doing up here. Maybe he doesn't know they don't get redemption. I don't know. That's unusual, or unlikely though. He probably has a... Maybe he's just healing the skirmishers. That might be the play. They can absorb the bulk of a mangonel shot. Ooh, and the forward TC being denied here needs to delete this. Deletes it in time. So if a building foundation is destroyed by your opponent, or for whatever reason, except for being deleted by yourself, as great shots come in from MBL here. He has a siege workshop at home and a siege workshop forward. Just so much wood. Really good shot from Kasva though while running. Anyways, if a building foundation, like if this got hit by the mangonels and died, you would lose all the wood, so 30 wood. That goes for any building though. So this is just a house, not that big a deal, but you lose a town center, it's 100 stone and 275 wood out the window. If you delete it, you get a portion of resources back, adjusted for the percentage of completion. So I believe how it works anyway. And feel free to correct me in the comments if I'm wrong here, but is if, let's say this was like 10% complete and it cost 100 wood and you deleted it, you would get 90 wood back because 10% of the wood has been spent. I believe that's how it works. That's how it makes sense to me. If it doesn't work like that, that's kind of goofy. But I know you get like a portion back. And like this stable that's almost done, if you had to delete this, you would barely get any resources back because it's nearly complete. But that town center was like 5% done, so deleting that was really important to get the res back. Anyway, Kasva being very aggressive here and has completely shut down the forward aggression. Look at this cluster of dead skirmishers here from MBL. MBL's a new group ready, but yeah, Kasva has 3 mangonels at home. It's basically just mangonels on mangonels. That's the unit comps. Don't be deceived. It's basically just mangonels. Wait, it's all mangonels? Always has been. Yeah, so more mangonels coming in defense, but remember, MBL has cheaper mangonels as well, so he has the better skirmishers, and he has cheaper mangonels. So everything Kasva's doing, MBL kind of just does a little bit better, technically, from a civ standpoint. That being said, Kasva's been doing really good with the micro, so I'm not saying like as a player or whatever. Just from a civ standpoint, MBL kind of has the leg up. And he's actually mixed in 2 battle elephants to just get the job done. Dravidian battle elephants aren't great either. They're not quite as bad as Malay. They don't have bloodlines, and they're missing the last armor upgrade. You can get the Castle Age one at least, so they're still better than the Malay battle elephants. But they're not as cheap, so honestly, if I'm going to have to use one of these Civs battle elephants, I think I'd actually take Malay, personally, because like having the extra, like 1 armor versus 30% reduction in Castle Age, I don't think is really that exciting. So Dravidian battle elephants, not very exciting either, but, you know, it deals with that kind of small-scale push that's mostly some feudal age archer, well, Bodkin archers, oddly enough, and then mangonels, right? Elephants are going to chew that up. Great micro from Kasva. Oh my goodness gracious, he finally loses that, but I mean, holy moly. I mean, he had a hill there, so that helps a lot. You take less damage, 25% less damage, and you do 25% more damage, so that makes your attack rounds super deadly. And Kasva kind of rushed up this monastery, but he built it very forward, and now you can't really build monks here safely because there's skirmishers to snipe them and the mangonel as well. Forward castle from Kasva goes up, though, and secures this area, and he's building karambits. Here comes the flood of karambits. And see, 7 base attack, no melee, no base melee armor, only 1 base defense for piercing, and only 30 health. These guys are very weak, but look how fast they build. This is like, what, 5 seconds of real time? Something like that. 6 seconds of real time, which is crazy. And they're fast. I don't know if he has squires in yet. I missed that. If he teched it, he probably did. And remember, they get the armor for free, so all he has to do is tech the damage upgrades. And now he can push us back for sure. Skirmishers will actually potentially kill a couple of the Karambits on the way in, though not 3 skirmishers, but because they're not really that hard to kill. But the Karambit, it's like zombies, right? In that one, what was that? World War Z or whatever it was called. The one with the really fast zombies. Anyways, doesn't matter, but it's kind of like that. These are not shambling zombies. These are the real scary ones. You can take a bunch of them out, but there's always another like 30, and they're faster than you. That's how Karambits work. So yeah, Monk Siege is a pretty horrendous comp against Karambit, and same with Monk Siege Skirm is a really bad comp against Karambit overall, unless you're just absolutely goated on the sticks with your Mangonel Micro. MBL's trying to get a good attack round here. Pretty good. Kills 4 of them. But still, this Monk will go down. And no, Karambits aren't going to finish off those Mangonels. Not this time. Kasva's Mangonel's under extreme duress. There's 2 elephants chasing it. And MBL did do a smart thing here, is recognized I need to start pulling these relics back. Because I'm losing map control, and when you lose map control, you lose gold control. Though that being said, he has this gold, and he kind of has this gold under control, to be honest. So it's actually not horrible for him. He's not, like, in a dire spot, but he is still somewhat losing map control. He's going to build a very aggressive castle here. The base of it will be in range of... Oh, and he's building Urumi Swordsman. I missed that. So here's Urumi Swordsman. There's their meter, like the faith meter, but it's not called faith. It's just charge in this case. And these can do very well against Karambits because this bonus damage splashes. I don't know if it does 100% in the area. That sounds a little too strong, but... Actually, it might, though, because it only hits once every, what is it, like 10 seconds or something. It takes a charge, so... Yeah. And then their attacks after that are pretty weak. They only have 8 attacks, so they're not much better than a Karambit warrior at that point. And 55 health. Like, these guys aren't that great, except that first wind-up just blasts. But we'll see how they do here. MBL gonna put up another castle, and they're both going to Imperial Agent. Kasva's first, which means Trebs will come out for him first. He has less castles, though. And his castles are kind of disjointed from each other, so he's not really going to be able to reinforce. Like, if he sends Trebs out here, it's very exposed to Urumi, honestly. Like, oh, this castle's been denied. There's so many Karambits. I don't think Karambits are excellent at taking down town centers. They can do it, but they're not excellent at it. But now he's Imperial Age. He has 5 Pierce Armor. So they're only taking 2 damage a shot. But yeah, here comes some Urumi, and let's see how this goes. If the Urumi gets some hits... Oh my goodness, I think it's full damage. Yeah, it's full damage on the charge attack. It's gotta be. Or like 80%. Because the Karambits have 30 health. They had a plus 13. They went down below half. I don't know. I think the charge portion is all AoE, or area of effect, or blast, cleave, however you want to call it. Actually, don't quite know. I barely have seen Urumis, despite them being out for a long time at this point. You don't see them that often. Regardless, yeah, Urumis are going to do a good job cleaning up, but we'll see. They don't flood as fast. Karambits don't cost Kasva very much to spam. All he needs is honestly 1 castle to build up a big ball of them. And his Trebs are starting to work MBL's castles over. But these 2 castles from MBL can team up to try to take this castle down, basically. Whereas this castle's kind of on its own. MBL was very behind to Imperial, and he was still building... Not very, but like a minute, which matters. And he was still building Urumi. That's the problem for him. Is I think he needs the Urumi more than Kasva needs the Karambits right now. But Kasva's going to get a relic of his own. See if MBL notices that relic. This castle's been left for dead, which is smart at this point. Actually, no siege engineers in, but still, yeah. You're not going to be able to stop this. Uh-oh. MBL's built another castle over here, and this is a really good castle, right? This defends extra stone, extra gold. Kind of between the 2 castles, loosely defending this area. I mean, Karambits can run in between them, but still. Good stuff. Trebs do not get sniped. They're saved by the castle fire and by the Urumi. But this castle has gone down, but there's not really gold here anymore. Pretty sure there used to be a gold here, or I forget what this TC was covering, but whatever it was, the mineral, I think there was a mineral here, and it's no longer here. So it's not critical for MBL if he loses this. He has 122 villagers. It's a pretty good number. Uh-oh, trying to get the gate down. Doesn't make the gate box in time, and the Karambits are easily going to snipe these Trebs. Unless they're not actually. Oh, no, they're not. The Yurumi caught them and just decimate them. Holy moly, but this castle is not long for this world either. Yurumi do take down a Treb. Hero repair vills. Oh my word, this castle's still alive. No way. MBL has res to keep repairing for now. Woot Steel coming in. I cannot believe this castle's alive. That Treb snipe was so important. For some reason, this trebuchet is packing. I don't really know why. What? Oh, he's going to start attacking this castle, I guess. These hills for MBL are so huge. He's trebbing from downhill almost all the time here, which is just huge. This Treb is very open. It's only going to be protected by Karambits, and the Karambits don't even have Blast Furnace yet. Castle has 141 villagers, but since he's building such a pop space efficient unit in the Karambit Warrior, because you get 2 for 1, he can have a ton of them. Like, his pop isn't adding up. He's above 200, right? But that's not how it works, because the Karambits are half off, so. That being said, they melt a Yurumi. It's a battle of the shirtless dudes. This is like some kind of WWE pay-per-view or something. Randy Orton is oiled up in one corner, staring down John Cena in his jean shorts, and we'll see we'll see who can get done what here, but for now, Kasva's still looking pretty good in the castle war anyway, right? I mean, he has the same amount of castles as MBL, but he can build another one. And MBL's castle's pretty isolated right now, and there's 4 Trebs bearing down on it. But the Yurumi are here, and honestly, Kasva has to be scared. I think these 26 Yurumi can wipe out this mob of Karambits. Unless they all attack, like, this side. They need to, like, envelop first, and then all attack with their charge attack, for sure. But, yeah. Chemistry coming in for MBL. Elite Karambit being tech now for Kasva, and Elite Yurumi is already in for MBL here. And now they have a plus 17 on that charged attack. A base of 10. Elite Karambit have what? They get plus 1 attack. They get 10 more hit points. That's actually very relevant. They only get plus 1 base attack, though. It's crazy. It's not that big an upgrade. I think it's pretty cheap, though. Karambits are weird. They're very weak. That castle does go down. MBL has 1 castle left. No, he's built another one. 2 castles. They're not defending... They're defending space at this point. He's going to make Kasva pay for every inch. But what he can't do anymore is protect his golds. Kasva is now... definitely owns this gold. And honestly, this gold is under extreme duress at this... or about to be. But there is a huge ball of Yurumi. That's also what... MBL can't afford to lose more castles because he seriously needs Yurumi at this point to save him from this Karambit swarm. There's 86 Karambits on the map. Some of them are in the back of the base. I completely missed that. Noob caster. Get this guy out of here. Never give him a microphone again. He has no idea what he's doing. But yeah, a little bit of raiding getting done, and this is what the Karambits are so good at, right? They kind of just get in there and get the job done. Though this castle does somewhat protect this. I question why we're not just attacking. It might have been an attack move and they got drawn in by the arrow fire. Unfortunate for Kasva. Definitely some free Vill kills here, and more importantly, protecting the gold from being taken. Gold is going to start drying up soon, actually, at this stage. Why is he packing? Oh, he's losing horribly. What am I saying? That's why he's packing, yeah. Yeah, Elite Yurumi just butchered the Karambits, and he needs a response. The Karambits are not going to cut the mustard if there's castles alive, and MBL has realized this as well, and is keeping the castles back. As long as he has some form of gold, he can keep building the Yurumi. He just needs to protect this gold deposit. And he has a little bit at home. Oh, it's 100. Okay, 160. Arson coming in. Bombard cannons on the way. I think I love Bombard cannon at this stage in the game. That way his castles can continue building Yurumi. Maybe the occasional Treb, but you need that Yurumi number high. And then you can have the Bombard slowly whittle down the castles that are causing problems. But, uh-oh. Big break in here. Kasva is going to say, okay, listen, I can't challenge your death ball. Not with my current comp. But I'll start making a swap to something. He did tech Elite Skirm. I don't know how Elite Skirm does against Yurumi. They only have 4 Pierce Armor, so probably okay. But he said, yeah, I can't really deal with you right now. So what I will do is while you're killing my castle, I will kill your entire economy. Or at least your home, your original economy. MBL has basically migrated to the left side of the map, which I like. There is actually a small raid going on back here from a Urumi swordsman. He just destroyed that villager. He got a charge attack and just absolutely blasted. I really want to see how long it takes until this gets noticed. But there's also, yeah, this town center's dead. This castle's probably dead. But this guy has like 7 kills. Big charge attack. Oh no, it's halfway there. Oh no, he walked to the castle. Get away. Oh, he dodged. Charge attack coming in. That guy gets absolutely blasted. This guy's killed like 10 villagers. Big fight going on up front. Kasva's probably wondering why his villager count is kind of diminishing, but he probably thinks it's from this fight up here, which is not true. Karambits can go snipe the Trebs. Unfortunate for MBL. He saw the Vil kills, but forgot to protect his Trebs. So he's going to have to kind of reset. He has no siege available to him. But still, he's chasing Kasva back. He's pushing back, rebuilding here. Kasva has a couple Karambits hunting for expansions. And they can find one, but this area is very protected. There's some Urumi guarding it. There's a castle and a town center all guarding. Okay, that guy finally died, but he almost wiped out this entire farming space back here. Kasva had to start rebuilding. That was brutal. And MBL's gonna go for a bold castle here. Maybe we could say it was a little too brave. Elite Skirm versus Elite Skirm. Oh, MBL doesn't have Bracer or the armor upgrades. Kasva is lacking 1 armor upgrade. So I was going to say MBL should have a better time with the Skirm v Skirm situation because he's Dravidians, but his upgrades are pretty insufficient. That being said, Urumi are Urumi and they're going to cut up the skirmishers. What a game. What a game. I mean, the resources are still super low. MBL has lost so many villagers. Kasva's killed almost 100 villagers. MBL's killed 46. Kasva's still above 100. He's at a pretty comfortable pop. I think you usually are looking at like 120, 130, depending on your civ, maybe like 140. But still, 110 is not horrendous. 80, not looking great, right? There's still some Karambits lurking back here even. Yeah, Urumi, does MBL know about that gold? He does not, but he's looking for anything, I guess, with those Urumi. Trebuchet. Oop, these skirms are just kind of dying for no reason. That's not great. I mean, they're not expensive, but he doesn't have a lot of food, so throwing away skirms for no reason, not good. You kind of need a mass of those to help you out right now. They're the backbone of your army, oddly enough. Another single Urumi raider. What a gamer, dude. I love this. Okay, Karambits making short work of this town center. And then the couple vills around it, so MBL will still be below 100 pop, or a villager pop. But, ooh, good raid from MBL. He found this expansion. He found that gold mine, and that's pretty critical. Kasva's not really getting gold consistently anywhere. Oh, except for here, but this is drying up. There's about 300 gold left, give or take. Oh, those are 2 houses. Right, I keep getting debated by those. Dude, this guy's still blasting. This guy's still blasting. He's going to get into the wood line. If he gets a charge attack, bam, he hits. Okay, it doesn't do full damage to both. I think it just does the splash damage. 13. Yeah, charge attack is around a plus. Yeah, something like that. Anyways, Urumi are going to push in, and I like this. Get aggressive here. They have splash damage on skirmishers. I mean, he's probably going to die to the TC fire, though. They have terrible pierce armor. They only have 5 pierce armor. So, but when the charge attacks come in, he's still going to kill a bunch of... I think this is fine for MBL. It's a little pricey gold-wise, which is a little awkward, but you should be able to get control of this firmly now. Once you get control of this gold firmly, then you have another, like, what is this, 1,000 gold to play with? Yeah. That's enough to make another good batch of Urumi for sure. That's all you need here. And yeah, killing the Trebs will mean every time you raid, yeah, like Kasva's down to 80. The villager count is basically tied. And this dude, this Urumi is a hero. And there's 4 more to take his place. Yeah, Kasva is probably dead now. In the Battle of the Shirtless Men, it seems like the one with the chain whip sword is the winner. Randy Orton has John Cena on the ropes right now. Sorry for darting around. I was just kind of seeing if there's any really big points of interest. But yeah, I think Kasva is probably just deciding what the... Oh, man. Not noticing this again. So punishing. MBL only has 2 town centers. So it does take him a long time to replace the pop he's lost. But no longer... He's not under any threat anymore. Kasva's no longer raiding. He doesn't have resources. He's got to be tapping out soon here. Even Karambit costs too much to make right now. They still cost gold. They're food and gold, so like it's not a lot of gold. I forget what it is, like 15 or 20 or something like that. But it still is gold, right? So, and Karambit wasn't getting the job done earlier when you had some controls, so I don't think it's going to now. But he's going to try though. He has a ball here. He's going to try to get something done. But oh boy, those crossbows need to be spread out. Crossbows seem like a pretty good. Honestly though, it needs to be arbalist, which is not his fault. He's broke resource-wise, but yeah, it probably needs to be arbalist. Needs more of them. It needs to be scattered. But the problem is, even if he had the arbalist, there's Dravidian elite skirmishers here with bracer now, and they're gonna blast off. They're absolutely taking the fight. Stables being built by Dravidians. Dravidians have horrendous stables. One of the worst stables in the game, if I recall correctly. It's two of the worst stable civs in the game against each other. That being said, I think they stop at like light cav. I don't even feel like looking it up because it's just not that important, but it's still worth raiding with, right? Like, look at this. This is so exposed. This is not as exposed because there's a castle, but still, this is exposed. And it doesn't cost you anything at this point. MBL is a huge food eco going. Even if his eco is shaky for 1 hour into an pro game, it's fine. He has 100 vills. Half of them are on food, so just churn out light cav and just pop off. Raid your opponent to death. Make sure their villager count goes down, and then you just win this. With the last bit of gold control, one more ball of gold units, protect your siege. You know, elite skirm to protect as well, and then just run it down with the light cav repeatedly. That's the plan now. Kasva's holding out, not realizing probably what's about to happen to. Actually, I think he just spotted it. Yeah, Outpost just spots this, but what can he do? They're just scouts for now, but they're about to be light cav. And yeah, once again, they're horrendous light cav. They don't have bloodlines. They can't get it. They have +1 armor. He's not even teching the second armor because it's just like, it's probably not even that worth right now. It's better to get the last archer armor. I agree with that choice. Your skirms are way more important right now, but these light cav, just get like 5 of them into this eco. And yeah, now he has to direct Karambits over. And the Karambits should win? Question mark? I don't know. Well, not right now they're not. Yeah, there's not enough of them. They're running in and taking free shots. I don't know, like, it's fairly even, and that's not good for you as Kasva because these are just doo-doo light cav against your guys that are still costing you precious gold. Oh, there were some sneaky Karambits. But there's some sneaky Yarumi here to guard. And Kasva's armies just had their backs broken here. Yeah, the line goes down. The GG's called. That was a good one. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I thought it was interesting simply because the unit comps were Karambits versus Yarumi, basically. Yes, we sprinkled in skirms on both sides. Yes, you know, light cav was finally teched here as a raid situation, but everyone pretty much techs those every game to raid. Look at the mini map here. It looks like a scenario or something. Like there's like a red dot spaced evenly, but it's the exact spacing as the exact build time to send these Karambits. And he wanted to get some good raids on the eco, but MBL said, you can have this. This is a shell of a base. I'm never using this again. Why would I move back in here? I agree with that choice personally. This makes no sense to try to take again. Yeah, there's farms here, but you have to re-wall in front of what you know is a castle. Forget about it. Just relocate to the left-hand side where there's res and push from there. Ignore that castle. I mean, now he's trapping it because he can, but yeah, good stuff from both. Yeah, Yarumi getting a little bit of a spotlight there. I mean, that's like what they're designed to counter, but you just don't really see it that often, I feel like. But they're designed to counter those big groups of units, especially squishy ones like Karambits, and they shown in this match. But both of them played very well. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. And I will, yeah, hopefully I'll see you all either on the live stream or next time we get a video, which will hopefully be sooner than the wait between the last cast and this one. All right, take it easy. Peace.